Welcome to Mrugashira, a podcast that communicates with communicators. Is brought to you in association with DigiTales. I'm Radha Radhakrishnan. Let's begin. Street art in public places in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities of India is all about bringing art to life for the public at large. Only a few people can go to a museum to view it. Most people in India will not go. Street art in public open spaces is their museum. I'm in conversation with Meenakshi Payal, Head Art Programming, Mojato. She talks about the joys and experiences of taking street art to people in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities of India. Hi Meenakshi, welcome to Mrugashira. It's great to have you here with us. The first obvious question, which is that what prompted you to take this up, and how did it all begin for you?
Okay, so it's very interesting. I mean, how it all started. I was basically doing programming, making a lot of content, which was related to news, social, economical development, and we were making documentaries. And suddenly, the media house I was working for started this venture called Mojato. Okay. And it was like, I was like, what is the meaning of Mojato? And then they said, find your mojo in art. Wow. So it was interesting. And I was, a little skeptical in the starting. And they told me that you have to head the art programming. And I was like, dude, I don't know anything about art, not even A. So you will get a hang of it. You have been there, you have covered few festivals. So you'll understand. It's okay. We have faith in you. You go ahead and do it. And there'll be like a lot of parties you'll get to attend, these exhibitions, you'll meet some cool people. So that's how I was lured into it and I got there. Mm-hmm. So when we started doing the programming, so the whole thing was, Mojato was like, giving platform to a lot of people. Like, there are only limited number of galleries. They can represent certain number of artists. And there are so many artists, like how to give them the platform. And that's how the Mojato was born. And it was like, people who have some, caliber and talent can showcase their work and people can buy. It's an e-commerce platform. So that's how Mojato started. And we see it was content-led commerce. So we were creating a lot of content around it. It wasn't just the business of selling and, buying the art. So it was like giving a platform to all those artists who never get the chance to showcase their work, to showcase their talent, their thought process, like whatever they were making. Mm-hmm. They were able to explain also. So we were making really small little videos. There was a full magazine show. We were doing 5 shows in a week. Mm-hmm. And it was all coming on the channel. And people were like, it had got the highest TRPs. We did a lot of work with different galleries. In fact, we did a show with Peter and Aparajita Jain also. They're like big names in the industry. And in between came Color My City. This was a show which we did. It was a 30 to 16 part series. We were trying to cover the street art, and there was Start, which was doing the Delhi art district. So we sort of I got interested in that, and things kept moving on and on. We were doing a lot of content creation, and suddenly we realized one thing which I realized is that the fun part of working with the artist. So if they, and what curators and critics does so what critic and curator sometimes does it, they make it sound so difficult or so not understandable that people get very scared of art. So that's where the whole point of bringing art in public spaces, the idea came. And we started thinking that why not bring the artist in the public space so that they can connect directly, because when you will talk to an artist, you'll connect directly, you'll understand the art, what the thought behind them. But you talk to a critic or curator, it'll be like, no, I don't know, it's some jargon which you are using. So it started with Namami Gange, our first project, which was in Haridwar. Mm-hmm. And there was this, I went for a recce with Namami Gange. And we saw the place, and there was this beautiful clock tower, and it was in that same red and white color, which you'll always generally see all the clock towers. So we thought, it's such an interesting canvas. Why can't we do something with it? Then they took me to Chandighat, and So it was barely the first. And we thought, why not? So we were choosing all these canvases which were unusual, and then I started hunting for the artist. So for Clock Tower, we thought, it's very mythological, the story should come. So Harshvardhan Kadam, who is an artist from Pune, he came in my mind and said, I suddenly picked up the phone. I said, Harsh, I have some really amazing canvas. The visibility is really high. You can see it from highway, and anyone who will go to Har Ki Pauri will see that. It's there, it's standing. So he agreed, and we started working on the concept. Then there was this Mexican artist called Senkoi. He works on a lot of flora and fauna and, animals. So I started talking to him, and luckily for us, he was planning to come to India.
Okay.
So it was like, you come to India and we'll do something together. And that whole exchange of ideas started working on. He said, since we were working on Ganga, so it was not like just mythology. It's not like, just Ganga as a river. So there is a lot of wildlife. There is a lot of aquatic life which is there. So we thought that, these turtles, which are an endangered species, why not, have something on the floor? So I asked Senkoi, can we do it? He said, I have not done it, but let's do it. So it was like a challenge. It was like, fun, let's do it. So that one thing which got sorted, I said, chalo fine, let me send me a mock-up here with the Harsh. We started talking, and he sent me a mock-up, and for the whole pillar, he created a really beautiful story around it. So if you see a clock tower, it's like a shivling in its way. Like if it's standing. Yeah. So he thought there is a whole story that Brahma and Vishnuji were once, saw a light. It had no beginning, no end. So both of them went on this, different sides, but they couldn't find the end. And that's where the Lord Shiva, he appeared, and he said that it's me, the pillar of light. Okay. I have no end, I have no beginning. So, with lots of illustration, he painted it golden. I mean, if you see, if you ever go to Har Ki Pauri, you'll see a lot of illustration. It's a golden. People would people were very skeptical when we started coming. There's one thing which I actually wanted to add here, that we generally go as an outsiders. People are very skeptical. Like, I don't know what they want, what their motive is. But when we start working there, they see the change. They see how people, are attracted towards us because they want to know. They're curious. I won't say attracted, but they're curious. What do we want to do? And how we are going to do, how we are going to change their space. All those things they have in mind. And when, with the conversation, with working together, whole community we make. And then people start coming and helping us. Like there were those pandas who were thinking, yeah, pata nahi kya karne wale hain, what they'll do with the with the clock tower. But when we started working with, we started painting it golden. They were like, ma'am, koi sone ka samajh ke na eat na nikal le jaye iski. And they would send us, chai and, these samosas which they would eat in the evening. And there were volunteers who came. So this is how we started, this was first experience. Then we went to Varanasi. There we got 8 artists from 8 different countries. So there was Neva Crew from Switzerland. There was Kenzi Chai from Malaysia, Kiran from Nepal, Nilesh from India. And then we had Baki Baking from Japan and Shifumi from France. So there were like 8 different different people from around the globe coming together and creating something beautiful on the ghat. And there was David Hooks from Australia, who was the most popular guy among the volunteers. Like he was super sweet. He would hang out with the kids, have chai, maybe smoke a beedi, which is, all those things. And we realized one thing. All those kids, because we were working on ghat, the ghats were clean, but then people would pee sometimes because of the lack of the, toilets or whatever. And these kids who were playing PUBG all the time or were doing TikTok suddenly realized that we from outside have come and making their ghat beautiful. Why not help them? So, and suddenly these all youngsters, so 20, 25 who were, left their PUBG, left their TikTok, came to us and started volunteer. They were painting. We got some school kids also. And it was a community who would sometimes eat together, play together, work together. And we got such a emotional farewell when we went. And, while even, for example, when we work also, it's not because we have worked in mostly religious cities. And we have gone to tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3 cities. If you see street art, you will see that people generally, they think that only metro city people will understand it.
Yeah.
But no, our USP is that we want to go to tier 2, tier 3 cities where people may not understand it, but slowly you are introducing a concept to them where they can appreciate the art. The whole motive of doing these public art projects with the government and with Mojato is to bring art in public life. You and me, I can go to the museum. The people who is, sadhu or sant or a guy or chaiwala who is sitting there will not go to a museum.
Correct.
So this is museum in public open spaces. This is what we are creating, and now people appreciate it. The people they don't litter, they keep it clean, and they take care of it. We leave, but the ownership stays with them. Now, when we were doing Banaras, there was like 7-8 paintings together. People, those kids who were, who came to us volunteer, they were there, they were staying there. So sometimes people would put a foot on them to click a picture because they were like huge, and a lot of kids started coming. They were making music videos and all. So they would come and tell them, यहाँ पैर मत रखिए दीवार पे, देखिए किसी ने बहुत मेहनत से किया है उस मतलब all those things come. And we were not, all our works generally, I mean, apart from Ayodhya, were very indirect.
Yeah.
Because we work very closely with Namami Gange, and thanks to DG Mr. Rajiv Ranjan Mishra, who showed faith in us, and said, go ahead. So the concepts were very, very different. They didn't have any direct connect with mythology, except Haridwar, where we did an Ayodhya 2 paintings. Like Nevakru, when they came, they work in the ecological system. So they made this beautiful whale in a rubber, in like a balloon. And inside there was a fish. And it was crushed. The balloon was sort of like crushed. And their message was that this is our ecosystem. We are crushing it. We are sucking the whole resources. And the balloon where you blow it from was open. So there is still some chance for you. Blow it, make it full. Those direct, deep meaning, and you're next to the ghat, so the reflection of that blue whale in the water, all those things are very beautiful. Kiran, for that matter, he did something, a half body. And his was like, Manikarnika Ghat is very famous for this last ritual rites where people, come for the last ritual. And he was roaming, and he suddenly realized when we are dying also, we're leaving a lot of plastic behind, because when they bring the arthi, there is a lot of, these nylon thing which were there. And he was like, at least while we are leaving, our body is 75% water, 67% water. So those are the things which we painted indirectly. So they were like indirect message, you're beautifying the space. So, and I believe the power of this whole, public art is, street art is, lies with the community. They learn a lot from it, directly, indirectly, while they're working with us or looking at the painting. Like Ayodhya, we are now in Ayodhya right now, doing a public art project. It's called Ayodhya Arts Project. So there are 2 or 3 different things. We have restored Ram Ki Peri. It was earlier yellow in color. So we have restored it, and it's trying to original colors. The motifs were broken, so we restored them. Now it looks like like an ancient historical place now. And then there was this beautiful pump house which was next to the Saryu Ghat, where artist Shifumi came from France and painted Sri Ram in a horizontal position, because it's in a rectangle shape, and he read Ramayana. Look at the concept, like how deep we try to get to, to get what we want to do. So he read the Ramayana, and we realized that on the Saryu Ghat, Bhagwan Sri Ram took the Samadhi. And no one knows where he went. So we thought that he melted in water. So that's him lying on that, pump house, his eyes wide open in blue color and becoming part of the water. So these are indirect messages which we are trying to create. Then we are working on these 8 ponds, there are 108 ponds now. They say there can be more also. We are going to work on the 8 ponds to start with. And these are all water reservoirs. They were abandoned and, not in good position. Now the cleaning has started happening. And the plan is to make these public spaces into a cultural space.
Okay.
And to get these people, because in coming days, Ayodhya will see a lot of crowd. And apart from mandir and few things, has to be something to, retain people, to retain tourists. There is lakes and there is river, all those things. So these will become those cultural spaces where you can have some peaceful time. There is these kiosks, there is some art which you can see. So there'll be sculptures, there'll be street art which you can see. So it's like bringing lots of things together. And we can talk about the content creation also here. So whatever we do, we do archive, video document our entire projects. So there is a kahavat where I keep saying that if we don't do the social media and if we don't do the video archiving, it'll be like jungle mein mor nacha kisne dekha. So these small videos get viral, people get to know what we are doing, and then people come from far to see them.
Yeah.
So these small videos which we have created for all our projects, they give a really good insight on what we are doing, what we have achieved. So these are like content led. It's like an IEC. I was like, there's a content led awareness. Those people who are far can see what we have done, and through this we get more traction. Like we connect with more good people. They see our work, they want us to come and do more work. So there is the power of communication and content you see in this. And in India we are very bad with archiving or video documentation, or we have been. So this is where the communication or the archiving, the documentation is very helpful. You get to know who has done it, what were their thought behind it. For example, if you see, we are trying to do a barcoding also now. If you sort of like scan the bar, you get to the video, you get to know straight from the artist what they were thinking.
Yeah,
while doing this.
Yeah.
Okay. So you scan it, you see the video, you get to hear from them what they were thinking. So all these things are like an amazing experience for the people who were not there at the point of time. So yeah, that's I've spoken a lot.
What prompted you to go to tier 2, tier 3 kind of cities? Because I guess a project of this nature would have been easier if you had focused on the top cities of the country. And second is that how many such cities have you or rather towns have you covered so far?
So what led us to, thought only that it's easy to do in tier 1 cities, in the metro cities. And what about we are equally responsible to our other fellow citizens who deserve the same, what we deserve here. So, it was difficult, but there were two people who came to our help. One was Namami Gange and second was Nerolac. So they supported us. They said, okay, go ahead, we'll support you. So Nerolac was our, was a big support. And Namami Gange, being from the center, Namami Gange is called National Mission for Clean Ganga. It's a government organization which is part of the water ministry. They showed a lot of faith, Hassan. They were they were already doing some of those work, but the kind of quality which we got, they were super impressed. So they said, okay, fine, let's give it a shot. So Haridwar it started with. Then it was a big, huge success. There were 5 artists who came. I have already named them. Harsh. From Mexico, we got Senkoi. Then from Puerto Rico, we got Valentina. Then there was Mr. Kafil who did typography. And then there was Rajvardhan Kadam who did this. So that was a good hit, and they saw the power, what we can do, and the documentation, which sort of like created a buzz around the town. That was very good. And then we went to Varanasi the same year, and again there were 8 artists from different countries. And why we keep going, because we had this, we had their support. And what happens is with the government support, it's easy to do, because getting the permissions from Nagar Nigam and from the DM, it's a big deal. I have worked in that system, so I know what's it like. So being from the center, it's sort of like the backup or the backing, it helps. So Varanasi one, we wanted to go to Patna, so that was one place, and then Ayodhya. So what I mean, generally they want to work for Ganga, but they also are now working on the tributaries, and right now Ayodhya is like a hot place. So and there was a lot going on, and we thought before the whole Janta jumps in, let's just create some magic and let's go. So next we are planning to do something in Srinagar.
Okay.
So I have to go for a recce very soon. It's with the Nerulac and the government there. So help of government and some supporters, you definitely need them, and artists. We are getting paid, but the whole plan is to get artists also well paid. Sometimes it's a irony that they work really hard, they don't get what they deserve. So that's what our main motive also, that just let people have what they deserve.
No, I just wanted to understand how easy or difficult it is to get corporates to support you, right? Because some of these things need a kind of a funding support. So
yes,
how easy or difficult has it been for you?
It is difficult because you have to literally go to different organization, ask for their CSR funds. We were lucky for Banaras and for Haridwar, we had Union Bank of India, we got them. And then we also started working with these art organizations. Sometimes you have the funds to get the whole thing going, but since it's on the ground, so there is a lot of cost to logistics. So getting the artists flying, staying and all those. So for example, Pro Helvetia supported Never Crew. So their fee was taken care of by them. Then Kenzie Chai for Chandana came from Malaysia. So we tie up with these people. And how I get I was chosen as one of the member for one of the program in France. So the French embassy sent me to Paris for 15 days, and we met some 15 professionals from different countries, made friends with them, and got to know what they are doing. So a lot of learning happened from there. Since we have become friends, they helped me with lots of other organizations who could support the artists. Sometimes it's enough, we have we can take care of the material, we can help you with food and everything, but just to get the artists. So all these organizations then come in for rescue. Like they are the one who will support you, whatever smaller thing it is. Sometimes there are like 9 or 10 partners also, which are there. So it's just the whole the bottom line is to make it happen. So with all these supporters, you tend to but I know that how difficult it is to get funds, and there are times when we have struggled a lot. Especially in Varanasi, we struggled. The plan was to do something really bigger, but we couldn't because of the lack of the funds. My friend architect, his name is Juan, he came from Spain to do a project. We sat in Nagar Nigam of Varanasi, and through these poles light, we bent them and mended them and made these swings. They're still lying on that ground, and we have worked really hard for 1 month to get them made. But because of lack of the funds, we could not install them. So they're still lying. I'm sure they're getting rotten. It's iron. So there are problems when sometimes you feel that you have failed, but then there is a learning. You learn a lot from, these failures. So for next time, you look for these, there are UN Habitat also sort of like offers one of the few grants. So you try to get them. You try to convince others. Corporates, you have contacts, then you go and tell them, show them work, and with the documentation it's easier. Now they know what we have done. So that is also the content which we are showing is also sort of like helpful. They have an idea. I will show them pictures. Pictures also helps, but the whole process of working and how your brand can benefit from it, that's something which is helpful through documentation. So that's where and we are growing. We are just a child. We're just 4 or 5 years old child, and we are growing. And there's a Khula Asman. The flight is big. We would like to fly high.
That's interesting. And how do you, once you create an art in a city, how do you ensure that it is maintained, it retains its its appeal, its quality, and it doesn't get in any way damaged?
So two things. One is that we use the material which is long lasting. For good 4-5 years, you don't need anything. And I also feel that's a beneficial thing. You can get bored of the art, seeing them again and again. So 4-5 years, it's well maintained. You see it, you enjoy it, and then the canvas is again white. You can paint something beautiful more, and you can. So, for example, like 2019 February, when we did the clock tower, I don't think so. For next 8 years, it needs any maintenance.
Okay.
It's high, so obviously there are benefits to that as well. On the second part, how to keep it clean, is where the community comes. That's why when we engage with them, we try to give as much ownership as they can have. So they would come and take care of it. I remember the walls we did in Varanasi, they get submerged in water for 3 months. Yeah. So when the water comes down, there's a lot of, I would say, sand and still and everything. So these kids come and they wash it, try to keep it clean as much as they can. For other, other paintings also, for other street arts, there are people who love it. They know that it's my place and I have to keep it clean. You cannot enter my house and, dirty it. You can't just litter. So the community, when we leave, we give the ownership to them. This is yours. You take care of it, and we'll come back. We can repair it. So all those things are there. But right now, I don't think so. We have ever gone back and done some maintenance. Paints are long lasting. Then there is a community involvement. So right now, these two things are going hand in hand. Good material and people taking ownership.
If I were to ask you to sum up your entire 4 to 5 years of journey in this case in one word, what would that be?
It's been a roller coaster ride. There has been ups where you feel like, oh man, yes, we have done it, we have got it. And then the whole struggle of getting the funds again, it starts. And there are times when I'm like, there are no projects in which I haven't tried, honestly. And I have no feeling. I mean, I'm not ashamed to, accept it. Yes, one can try because you're so passionate about it that you want to do it. You want to make it happen. Yeah. But then lack of funds sometimes, lack of, administrative support. But I mean, we have so far been very lucky that we got the administrative support, like the government and these new young officers. They're amazing. Like I don't know what notion we have in mind that, people are corrupt, they don't help, but it is amazing. You start working at them, they start recognizing your effort and they support you. So those are things only. It is like but they got that ups and downs because sometimes artists are moody. So you have to convince them, let's not do this and that. There can be some controversy. So yeah, but it's a fun ride. It's a fun ride.
Great. So I hope your fun ride continues for many, many more years. Thanks for talking to us on Mrugashira.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Radha, for talking to me. Thank you.
Hope you enjoy listening to Mrugashira, a podcast for communication folks. Do share your suggestions and feedback on mrugashira@digitales.co.in. Have a great week ahead and do not forget to tune in next week. Adios.